This is a game in the T69 on steps. It's the Tier 8 American medium autoloader. It's really popular for use in tournaments. And so on steps, even against big artillery, you're still going to want to play the east side. The east side plays pretty quickly, so what you want to be able to do is sweep through here, particularly if you're up against an inferior force. You want to be able to clear out the east quickly, because that allows you to put pressure through their base and also gives you time to come back. The west side generally plays more slowly, and so what we're going to do is head out to this east area over here.
Time to roll out.
And then ideally what happens is that one of your scouts spots up through this 8 line over here, but it looks like our scouts are not going that direction, or none of our fast tanks are really going in that direction. And so what we'll want to be able to do is move up either to this sort of hill over here, to this rock over there, one of the two. Sometimes you can play it down in this 0 line here, but typically I don't do that unless I'm in a heavy with some armor, because you'll find that you end up in basically a peekaboo war. This ELC is coming over here a little too late though. And I don't really have view range in this tank, so I can't really spot there that well. But when I peek out here, I see that there's T20 here, and I position myself poorly here because you'll notice that my drive wheel is set forward so that he can basically just shoot through there for free damage, and so that was sort of a mistake on my part. You have to be careful when you're behind this rock. You can't back up a little bit too much, because if the artillery is over in the C1 area, then they can land the shot on you. So Blue's taking up this middle position there, which is great because he'll basically tie down that T34. And this is going to allow me to push down through here, right? So I don't get lit until after I poke around that rock, and that allows me to get over underneath where this ELC is, right? And so now I can do one of two things. I can put pressure on this T34 that Blue's up against, and I can back off this T20. And so it looks like the T20 is already backing off, but you always want to be sure. And so these guys have swarmed this T34 on this upper plateau. This ELC is going through towards the T20, and this LTTB looks like he's going to drive through. So you always want to just be on this hill here so that it makes it difficult for artillery to shoot you. And I don't want to let this LTTB get through. And then it's just a matter of taking this KV5. And you'll see that they push 3 guys up the middle here, which is it's an okay play. It just usually takes a little bit longer to develop because you generally push into a flank, but we don't have anybody on this side, right? So they'll probably win there eventually, maybe. We'll see. So it's important to be able to take out this KV5, who appears to be running away from these guys, which is fine. And you'll notice that he's giving us side turret and front, so you can shoot through either the cupola there or the turret. So you want to aim a little bit higher than I did on that second shot. And then at this point, you just go back, right? Even though you have the base, you have some advantage here. You want to be able to go back and make sure that they're not going to be able to cap you out. Obeyrus is playing through this middle area here, which is going to make it more difficult for them to take the east side of this plane. But you want to be able to go back through here and make sure that you can mop things up. And so we're able to pick up the artillery. We still have these guys in a flank over here, but we're probably going to lose over on this side. And then you want to be careful about driving out into this plane because, you know, as long as you're out here, you can be shot from a number of different areas. And so you'll notice that I'll typically go all the way over to this rock side in order to do that. Or at least out of range of where we know this JT-88 is. He's about to die anyways. And so we've lost this west, but it's too late, right? We've already won the east. We're about to win the middle, and the west
Ready to
is,
fire.
at this point, relatively
Enemy
inconsequential.
armor is damaged.
It's a trap!
And then so all we want to do is just basically counter push over through here. Some of their guys might go back, some of their guys might continue moving forward. You kind of have to plan for the contingency of either all of them go back or all of them go forward. You know, could be either. And so at least the IS-3 is moving forward, and what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to check if they sent anybody over to this K line over here. But it doesn't look like they did.
It's a trap!
We didn't penetrate their armor. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is destroyed.
And so now they're in a bad position because basically they're surrounded. And it's just a matter of getting the clip back and then being able to take everybody out. We see that most of their team actually ended up going back. This A44 is making a run for it, so even though I'm not loaded, I can start driving forward here. And then it's just a matter of chasing things down. So even though the A44 is probably a little bit faster than me, I should be able to catch up to him just from the fact that I'm driving in a straight line across the terrain.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy is hit. They're knocked out.
And so, again, what really made that happen was the fact that we were relatively aggressive on the 9-0. They did have a reasonable amount of tanks there, right? They had the T-34, the KV-5, T-20, and the LTTB. And I think there was one other tank that I'm missing, but they had a number of tanks over there, but we had good position, right? By pushing up across over here into this C9 area, we were able to put pressure on them through this east side here, right? We managed to flank the T-34 by our 1945 pushing in to this sort of C8 area, which took him out of the game. And being able to clip out the T-20 and the LTTB allowed us to basically clean up this side relatively quickly, and then it was just a KV-5 left, and then once he went down, we sent tanks back to help clear out through the middle and make sure that you don't get too much pressure through the base side. So even though we lost on the west and the center was a little bit of a standstill, because we were aggressive on this east side, we were able to push through and clean up a lot of their team. And so if we look at the stats, it's pretty much a carry. Blue and I did the bulk of the damage there, and a lot of that is he was able to abuse his position in a hull-down fashion, particularly when he was on that east side. And then later through the middle. And then for me, basically I was always on the edge, sort of that outside position. On the east side, it was on that 0 line. And then when we went across through the middle, through our base, we were able to get pretty good clips out on the IS-3 and that A44. So it's a lot of it is just making sure that you can keep your gun in play and have a good position to shoot people, or be in a good position to shoot people, and you'll profit from that. Anyhow, so I hope that was instructive for playing steps in a medium, or particularly the T69, and thanks for watching.